guys, so we're taking a quick break from our current FPV project because we got us an unboxing. So let's get straight to it, shall we? Out of here. Made us a little bit of a mess here, but hang on. I wonder what this is. What all these are. What these are. Probably can't see those, but I can imagine what those are. And what those might be. Yeah, just for the hell of it, let's throw all this stuff together and see what we can make of it. Alright, so I got the frame put together, as you guys can see here. I put the motors on just to get kind of a estimate, like where I'm gonna put the motor and the ESC, what kind of distance I want between the two, and by doing that, I've cut them to I cut the one ESC here, as you can see, to what distance I want them to be from each other. I'm not gonna do like bullet connectors just because so many people prefer not to do that. Like it adds weight, plus plus it doesn't give you much like wire length to work with, because like, as you know, when you solder wires, like you transfer heat down the wire, and that, like, the shorter the wire, the more heat gets transferred to the end of the wire where the solder joint meets in, and that could cause problems, like for if your wire is too short and try to solder it, and like next you know, like you're melting your solder joints at the ESC or in the motor, it just causes problems. So this is the optimum length I came to solder my wires, like as you guys can see here. I have my soldering station heated up. I have it at about 350 C because quite a few people said that's an optimum temp to have a soldering job of this type. So yeah, I'm gonna commence to soldering this one, and I'm gonna skip ahead after this and show you the end result of all the ESC and motor soldering jobs. Alright, so I got the ESCs and the motors like wired together, got them soldered on, but when I moved on to the next step with the power distro board, I forgot to record. But basically, here's the end result of all the combos. They all went together without a hitch. Here's the power distro board, that went off without a hitch, except some slight difficulty with the battery leads here because my soldering station's like soldering tip, it is just a fine point tip, so I'd use my other soldering iron. But yeah, so anyways, I got that on. Obviously there should be no problems with it. It's on solid, and I have it curled to the side. I made sure that it was able to, because I have the now on standoffs here. I ordered from the US warehouse, and they came in just a day because apparently the warehouse is now in Oregon, which is pretty nice. And yeah, so I also got it sitting on washers, so it's standing off just a little from the frame. So now, like, the next step is to get the flight controller out and solder that in, wire it up, and program it. So yeah, on to the next step. Thanks to editing magic, I got everything put together. Got a couple small minor details corrected, and got it connected, running clean flight. So here, let me plug it in real quick. And there we go. So we're going to connect. Make sure it's as level as possible, nothing's underneath messing with it. And first thing we're gonna do, calibrate accelerometer. Alright. Alright, I made sure all those were correct. Now, where we set that radio. Okay, so alright, so I got a baseline of what controls what. So that was roll. It's gonna be our aileron control. So I'm gonna use some editing magic again and skip through this whole setup. Okay guys, so it's taken a while of troubleshooting and problem solving, but I figured out the issue that was up with it. I've gotten it bound to my radio, and I also have an arming switch set up on my radio, so I don't have to go through that ESC calibration thing again. So as you'll see here, flip the switch, green light comes on, it's armed, switch on, switch off. Yeah, so there's that's taken care of. And I thought I had a problem with the flight controller when I tested it. In the clean flight configurator, I could spool all motors up evenly, but when I spool them up with my radio and watch through the configurator, the 1 and 4 motors would spin up on they would spin up faster than the other two, and that was creating some yaw. But after I'd changed to a different battery, a better battery that could support the current, that problem just went away. So I don't know. I think it might have been just a problem with the ESCs not getting enough amperage to distribute evenly. But anyways, so I got that issue taken care of. I actually just did a flight not too long ago, and you can see there were some crashes in there as well. But all the parts on this are actually pretty solid. It even fell from a good 5 feet, and it still nothing broke. Even when it slammed right into the picnic table, props spinning full bore and everything, still nothing broke. So that's pretty sweet. But I got it smoothed out enough to where I could get some stable flying in, and I wasn't gonna go full bore. Plus, it turned out that I had my yaw channel on my radio reverse, so I was taking it easy, so I didn't overshoot or overcorrect for anything. That and this battery's pretty heavy, so I'm not gonna get much performance out of the test flight. I'm currently waiting for a lighter battery that I'm actually going to fly with it. That's coming in the mail. It should be arriving in the next couple days. But yeah, so either way, we have our test flight in. I'm gonna show it to you guys. Hopefully it's not too dark, because it was kind of dark when I did it. But anyways, here's the test flight. Hey, kitty. Better stay back, kitty. Really starting to piss me off, kitty. You know that? If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Put it on the Ritz.